I see you. I see you sitting there in the quiet of the morning, perhaps with a cup of tea that has grown cold, as you stare at the dust motes dancing in the sunlight. I see the way you look at your hands, those hands that once held newborn babies, steered heavy wheels, and built a life out of nothing. And I see the frustration in your eyes when they don't move as quickly as they used to. I know the weight of that word, independence. To you, it isn't just a concept. It is your dignity. It is the porch you've swept for 30 years, the garden you've tended, and the hallways that hold the echoes of a lifetime of laughter, and even the sharp stings of grief. If you felt my peace today, leave a like and subscribe to this channel. You are 85 years young in my eyes, and I know the fear that keeps you awake at 3 a.m. It's the fear of the nursing home, isn't it? It's the fear of becoming a room number, a schedule, or a chore for someone else to manage. You feel as though you are standing on a shrinking island, watching the tide of time pull away the things you control. You worry that if you admit your legs are tired, or your memory is a bit foggy, the life you've built will be folded up like an old map and tucked away in a drawer. My dear child, listen to my voice. You are not a problem to be solved. You are a masterpiece that is nearing its most beautiful completion. I know the world tells you that your value is tied to your productivity, to how fast you run or how much you do, but I have never loved you for what you do. I have loved you for who you are. When you feel the sting of shame because you can't open a jar or because you missed a step, remember that I am the one who knit you together. I knew your 85th year before you drew your first breath, and I am not surprised by your weakness. In fact, it is in these very moments of fragility that I am closest to you. I want to take that heavy cloak of guilt off your shoulders right now. You feel guilty for needing help. You feel like a burden to your children who have their own busy lives, their own stresses, and their own children to raise. You look at their faces and you see their concern, but you interpret it as annoyance. You think, I don't want to be the reason they worry. But I tell you, love is not a transaction. By allowing them to care for you, you are giving them the opportunity to walk in the very footsteps of my love. You are not taking from them. You are allowing the seeds of kindness you planted in them decades ago to finally bloom. Don't let the enemy whisper that you are useless or that your home is a nursing home just because it has become a place of rest. Your home is a sanctuary. Even if the walls feel smaller, my presence is larger. I remember a promise I made to you a long time ago through my servant Isaiah, and I want you to hear it again, not as a sermon, but as a direct vow from my heart to yours. Even to your old age and gray hairs, I am He. I am He who will sustain you. I have made you, and I will carry you. I have made will sustain you, and I will rescue you. I am not a God who leaves when the hair turns white and the strength fades. I am the God who carries. When you feel you cannot walk the distance, I am the legs. When you feel you cannot hold the weight, I am the arms. You are afraid of losing your independence, but I am inviting you into a beautiful dependence on me. This isn't a step backward. It is a step into the center of my grace. The world sees a senior citizen or a patient. I see my beloved. I see the woman who prayed through the dark nights. I see the man who worked until his back ached to provide for his family. I see every tear you've ever shed, and not one has been wasted. You think your story is ending because you are 85, but in my kingdom, we are just getting to the part where the light becomes the brightest. Let out that breath you've been holding. You don't have to pretend to be fine for me. You can be tired. You can be afraid. You can even be angry that time has been so greedy. I am here to hold all of that for you. Rest your heart in mine, for I have already prepared the way ahead, and I promise you, you will never walk it alone. I want you to take a deep breath with me. Close your eyes for a moment and feel the air fill your lungs. That is my breath, still sustaining you at 85. As we sit here together, I want to talk to you about how you got to this place of feeling so trapped by your own fears. You look around your home, at the photos on the mantle and the furniture that has stayed in the same spot for decades, and you wonder, how did life happen so fast? It feels like only yesterday you were the one providing the strength, the one fixing the broken toys, the one everyone turned to for answers. Now, the roles have shifted, and it feels as though the world has moved on while you were left behind in the silence. I know the anatomy of the weight you carry. It isn't just the physical aches in your joints. It is the wall of independence you built over a lifetime. In your culture, in your generation, you were taught that to be strong was to be self-sufficient. You were told that pulling yourself up by your bootstraps was the ultimate virtue. You spent decades building a fortress around your life to prove you didn't need anyone's help. But my child, without realizing it, that very fortress has become a prison. You've equated needing help with failing, and that is the lie the world used to steal your peace. Decades of busyness, the rush of the career, the noise of the children, the constant pressure to save for a future that has now arrived, robbed you of the ability to simply be with me. You were so focused on building a kingdom for your family that you forgot you were a citizen of mine first. And now, in the quiet of 85, all those distractions have fallen away, leaving you face to face with a silence that feels heavy. You mistake this silence for loneliness, and you mistake your physical limitations for a loss of purpose. I see the way you struggle with your children and grandchildren. You see them checking their watches when they visit, or you hear the suggestion in their voices when they mention assisted living or a nursing home. It cuts you like a knife because it feels like they are trying to erase your history. But I want to show you the truth behind their eyes. They are afraid too. They love you, but they don't know how to handle the reality that the rock of their family is now fragile. Because you haven't shared your fears with them. Because you've kept that wall of, "I'm fine," standing tall, there is a canyon of misunderstanding between you. Your pride, which you once called strength, is now the very thing keeping you from the intimacy you crave. You worry about your legacy, about the inheritance you will leave behind, and whether your life truly mattered. You look at your bank accounts or your property and wonder if it's enough to keep you safe. But I tell you, your true inheritance isn't found in a trust fund or a deed. It is found in the peace of your soul. You've spent 85 years worrying about tomorrow, and yet I have provided for every single today you have ever lived. Why would I stop now? Remember the words I spoke to the crowds long ago, words that apply to you even more deeply today. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Matthew 6:34. You are trying to solve the problems of your 90-year-old self while you are still 85. You are mourning a nursing home that you haven't even entered, and in doing so, you are missing the grace I have placed on your table this very morning. The world and its constant demand for more and faster have tried to trick you into thinking that a slower life is a lesser life. It isn't. This season of your life was meant to be the Sabbath of your soul, a time to stop doing and start receiving. The solution to your fear of losing your independence is not to fight harder to keep it. It is to surrender it to me. When you stop trying to be your own savior, you finally allow me to be the savior I have always been. You don't have to navigate the maze of medical forms, home repairs, or family tensions alone. I am in the details. I am in the conversation you've been avoiding with your son. I am in the courage it takes to say, "I need a hand." The weight you feel is the pressure of trying to hold up a world that I am already holding. Let go of the wall. Let the people who love you see your heart, not just your stubbornness. There is a profound beauty in being cared for, just as there was beauty when you cared for others. Don't let the enemy convince you that you are a burden. A burden is something you have to carry. A blessing is someone you get to love. To your family and to me, you are the blessing. Come closer to me. Can you feel the shift in the air? This is the moment where the fear of the nursing home and the shadow of 85 years begin to dissolve in the light of my presence. You have spent so much energy looking backward at what you've lost or forward at what you dread. But I am standing right here in your now. I want to offer you a divine exchange. Give me your trembling hands, and I will give you my unshakable peace. Give me your fading independence, and I will give you the eternal freedom of a child of God. You think it is too late for a new beginning. You look at the calendar and think the pages are running out. But my grace does not operate on the world's clock. In my kingdom, time is not a thief, it is a canvas. Whether you have 20 years left or 20 days, that time is more than enough for me to do a work in your soul that will echo for eternity. You aren't finishing your life. You are preparing for the true beginning. Every prayer you whisper now, every moment you spend leaning on my shoulder, and every smile you give to a caregiver is a victory that the world cannot understand. I want to heal the way you see your future. If the path leads to a different home, be it a smaller apartment, the house of a child, or yes, even a place where others help you eat and dress, I am already there, waiting for you. A nursing home is just a building. I am your dwelling place. I lived in a manger, I slept on a boat in a storm, and I walked the dusty roads of Galilee with nowhere to lay my head. I know how to make a sanctuary out of any space. If you go, you do not go as a victim of old age. You go as my ambassador of light to those who are lonely in those hallways. You are not losing your life. You are bringing my life into new places. Your children and your grandchildren are watching you. They aren't just watching to see if you stay independent. They are watching to see if my peace is real. When you let go of the anger and the fear of the future, you leave them the greatest inheritance possible, the map to my heart. That is a legacy that money could never buy. I am the God of the 11th hour, and I promise you that the wine I save for the end is always the best. Listen to the promise I made to those who feel their strength is gone. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. You may walk with a cane, but in my spirit you are soaring. You may feel faint when you stand, but in my grace you are running toward the finish line with a strength that the young cannot comprehend. Stop mourning the person you were at 30. I am in love with the person you are today. I love the stories etched in your wrinkles and the wisdom earned through your tears. You are my pride and joy. So, let us walk together into this next chapter. You don't have to figure out the medical bills, the move, or the what-ifs today. Just hold my hand. I have already gone before you to prepare a place for you, both in this world and the next. You are safe. You are loved. You are home because you are with me. I am so glad we spent this time together today. I want to keep walking with you every single step of the way. If you feel my peace touching your heart right now, I invite you to leave your burden in the comments below. Just type, "I receive your peace, Lord," and tell me what you are handing over to me today. Please subscribe to this channel so we can meet like this every day. I have so much more I want to tell you, and I never want you to feel alone in the silence again. Let's walk home together.